Popcultured. Catfight, drunken Cortney Love takes on screaming Yoko Ono. Freak out at the Festival of Fear with Crispen Glover. And film critic Leonard Matlin talks, what else? Movies, that and more, right now on Popcultured. This is Popcultured. I'm Elvira Kurt. Well, proof of how drastically the world changes could be found on TV this weekend. Unless you watched 3 hours of Equestrian on CBC Saturday night, and then, of course, you saw time completely stand still. Wow. Now, I'm talking about the Legacy of Terry Fox special on Saturday and the movie Terry on Sunday night, which reminded us of two things.
How many miles do you got to go?
5,295.
Can you make it?
Oh, you bet. 1 mile at a time.
Yeah. The Terry movies reminded us, number one, it's okay to cry even when it's not Extreme Makeover Home Edition. And the second thing is that we haven't always lived in a world so entirely consumed by vapid celebrity culture. And you know, that really stayed with me. Right up until E-Talk Daily.
Canada's #1 source for all things Film Fest and everything entertainment.
All things Film Fest, everything entertainment. Gee, Tanya, you forgot Shamelessly Sponsored.
Tanya, I gotta tell you, this Chanel suite has everything.
That's right, Ben. I'm at the Tastemakers Lounge by Green Tea Design here at the Intercontinental Hotel.
Hey, Susie. Well, it was another busy day here in the E-Talk Daily Lounge, brought to you by Chevrolet HHR.
Show business. And as of today, the business just got showier, thanks to not one, not two, but 3 new nightly entertainment shows. Global's Entertainment Tonight Canada, Chum's Star Daily, and The Sun's Inside Jam. Who knew the 7th ring of hell would be so perky? Now, we here at Popcultured, we don't often touch on the world of politics, but we've always said we will make an exception when there's a porn star involved. So, please meet Mary Carey.
That's why I'm thinking I might move here and try to run for governor of Washington.
Washington? Now, here's Mary in her day in court. You'll see why she's a porn star in a second here, and yep, there they are. Oh man, could we just have some more contrast, maybe a white background? Perfect. Yes, thank you. Oh my God. And why is she in court? Well, she was stripping in the state of Washington, and she crossed the line. She touched her breasts, which happens to be illegal in the state of Washington.
But it's kind of scary because if I mess up, after 1 year and 7 months in jail, I don't think I could survive that. My hair would fall apart, my nails. All I did was touch my boobs, and I don't think that should be illegal in a strip club.
Or on TV, anywhere. I think it's. Mary is following it up with a well-planned political campaign.
You know, we can make lap dances tax deductible, which was one of my platforms in California.
What? I'd vote for her. Come on. Okay, in other pop culture news, forget the Toronto International Film Festival and their art house bullshit. Police Academy 8 is finally being made. Oh yeah. Listen, when Steve Gutenberg, he was so excited when his agent told him, he tossed his Arby's name tag into the cheese vat. So Kanye West said that white people can only use slang words when they're out of style with black people. Okay, now that that's settled, let's go clean up New Orleans. Let's go. Priorities, that's all I'm saying. Order them. And the Beatles were voted Best British Band by Q magazine. Other articles in Q this month: Einstein was smart, and 101 Reasons Why Water is the Best liquid. So Elijah Wood says he's ready to distance himself from the lovable Frodo character because it's time to take on other roles. That and because they're done making Lord of the Rings movies. And in Vancouver on Saturday, Destiny's Child performed for the final time. Beyoncé is moving on to launch a fashion empire. Kelly Rowland is releasing a solo record. And the other one is still on stage at the GM place going, so I just wait here? Is that That's it for the pop culture news, everybody.
It's the Battle of the Lunatic Rock Widows, Cortney Love versus Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono's music consists of loud, distorted feedback while screaming. So does Cortney Love's. Advantage, loud, distorted feedback. Okay, John Lennon wrote songs for Yoko called Oh Yoko and Dear Yoko. Kurt Cobain wrote songs for Cortney like Riding the Jackal and You Grab Her Arms and I'll Get Her Legs. Advantage, angry jackals win every time. In 1969, John Lennon and Yoko Ono kept the beat with a bunch of peace-preaching hippies. In 2004, Cortney Love preached on stage, then beat a spectator with a microphone stand. Advantage, anyone who didn't go to those concerts. And finally, Cortney Love worked as a stripper in Japan.
I'm just scared I move this out on national television.
But Yoko Ono once made performance art where people cut away her clothes until she was naked. And today's Versus winner, John Lennon and Kurt Cobain, because they don't have to deal with their crazy wives anymore.
So there's a new Disneyland opening in Hong Kong today, and for some strange reason, all their cheap souvenirs are made in Anaheim, California. I know, it's very strange. Now, speaking of strange, we recently sent horror fan Lori Elliott to the Rue Morgue Festival of Fear in support of this often misunderstood pop culture fringe. Turns out she's scared a few people herself. Take a look.
Elvira, I'm here to clear up the idea that horror movies promote violence and that they turn their viewers into Satanist mental patients who don't know the difference between watching a movie and real life because they're such friggin' weirdos. First, I gotta put my costume on. How do I look? Don't trust me with your children. I watch movies. Might as well start at the top. Who better to talk to than a man who starred in horror films about the effect they have on the viewer? I sat down with Crispen Glover to get his feelings on the subject.
Like my film, What Is It? It started out as a short film. And when I tour with my film, What Is It, definitely deals with that. I have other films that I've already shot the sequel to this film. I do a question and answer after the film.
However, I soon learned the first-time director had a different subject he'd rather discuss. Well, that was a write-off. But the convention was crawling with well-adjusted normal people that just happened to like horror movies. They'd help me prove my point. Shouldn't you be in Hall B? It's down there. Do you like the Jason movies?
My name's Jason, so kind of...
Your name's Jason and you like the Jason movies?
Yes.
When I was a kid, I had a Jason mask I played with in my crawl space. And what's your favorite horror movie?
I'd have to say The Exorcist.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
When I grew up, when I was a little girl, I used to sit on my bed and I'd get cans of soup and I'd be like, ah! And then my mom would call a priest for real. So you see, Elvira, this journalist has proven her point. There are no crazy people here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a couple hours of shopping to do before my mom comes to pick me up.
Thanks, Lori. You're sick puppy. Hey, so you've all seen the warning that appears before the show starts, right?
This program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
I've always wondered why the they run that thing. Now, in case you're the kind of person who tunes in late to stuff, here are some other warnings that maybe should run before your favorite shows. Rockstar in Excess. Warning, the following program features Dave Navarro wearing dangerously tight pants that could cause a low sperm count if worn by non-professionals. Corner gas. Warning, the star of this sitcom has had cosmetic dental surgery. TV teeth, as they are known, are not recommended for actual gas station attendants or anyone who works in direct sunlight. Coach's Corner. Warning, the following segment contains patterns and color schemes not found in nature. Apoplectic seizures likely. Consult a physician before viewing. Gilmore Girls. Warning, if you are a male 18 to 49 and are about to watch the following program, your girlfriend and or wife has you so whipped. Man, develop a spine or grow some balls immediately. Much in Your Space. Warning, the following reality-based home improvement show features tips from VJs who can't afford their own apartments. Checking your shed to see if Matt Babel is sleeping in it is advised. And finally, Order of Canada recipient and renowned environmentalist David Suzuki's The Nature of Things. Warning, the following program is not suitable for individuals who drive styrofoam Hummers and fish with dynamite. Hey, don't go away. Leonard Matlin's coming up. Listen, my guest tonight is one of the world's most respected film critics. I can't believe he's here. This year marks his 23rd season with Entertainment Tonight, and he's also just released the 2006 edition of his Essential Movie Guide. Look, everybody, it's Leonard Matlin. He's right here.
Wow. By the way, I was watching your show. I am now sponsored. I was watching your piece earlier. Yes, I'm sponsored by Fresca. And so I normally took it off. The guy backstage took off the little tag that I usually wear now.
Why? How did you succumb? I feel like you're too big for
because like everybody, because I want to be like everybody else.
Right.
You know, when I was growing up, you know, rock and roll was supposed to be counterculture.
Right.
You know, now all these tours are sponsored by somebody.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
It's a different world.
Yeah. So you're just going along with the flow.
That's right.
No rebellion for you. You're beyond that,
quite the opposite.
Well, because you're a pop culture icon now yourself. Yeah, you are. Come on. I mean, you've been through. Yeah. Seriously. There are a handful of people here who would back me up on that. Because you yourself, like, you come in for the Toronto International Film Festival, but are you not? I mean, you're clearly more recognizable than some of the stars.
Well, I'm recognizable because I'm on TV, and I've been on TV a long time. I've been on ET for 23 years now.
Have you had some people fired on that show? Have you?
Sure.
Because, yeah, I love that.
Sure. I have fired several myself.
What's it like to wield that kind of power? I mean, because the hosts come and go, but you're always the mainstay.
Oh, no, Mary's been there.
Yeah, she has.
Mary Hart has been there. She started 3 weeks after I did, so we're the long-distance runners there.
Yeah, are you guys in a competition? Do you ever come onto the stage wearing the same outfits?
It's happened. It's happened once or twice, but of course, it's an embarrassment. We have it on videotape. We erase the tape and start all over again.
I know, she's so butch. What's it? How many years have you been coming to the film festival?
Not as often as I'd like. I missed it the past few years. I was very happy to get to come this year, and I've seen, I think, 7 or 8 movies. I've lost count.
Really? 7? That doesn't seem like too many. Shouldn't you be cramming them in like 10 times a day?
Well, that's since Friday night. I didn't come
Still,
since
it
the
seems like you're slacking off. I don't get why.
Well, I had one extracurricular dinner.
This book?
I had dinner with a friend, and I don't mean to offend, but I could be watching a movie right now.
Yes, but maybe it would be some documentary
That's
or
right.
some,
Probably something dull.
I mean,
this is much more interesting.
Is it? Come on. Now, but it's kind of interesting because your world is movies, but you talk about it on television. Is it? Do you ever reconcile those things? Like,
oh, sure. Well, I'm a very lucky guy. I get to do what I love for a living.
That's true.
And I have all my life. And that's a very fortunate thing. I started publishing my own fanzine when I was a teenager about old movies, movie history.
Nerdy. That's so geeky.
I'm the ultimate nerd. I'm the nerd. And then that led to my meeting an editor at Signet Books in New York who was looking for somebody to do this kind of book, a guide for people who watch movies at home.
Right.
And I'm still doing it all these years later.
Have you watched every movie?
I watched them twice.
Wow.
For you.
Wow.
No, I have a staff. I have a great staff of people who work with me and who are all credited on the title page. It's not any, I mean.
I believe it.
One person couldn't see all these movies and still talk about them. Then you'd be dribbling or drooling or something. But I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, so what's it like? If people come up to you and they always want to talk movies with you,
Yeah, sure.
Do you enjoy
Seen
that?
any good movies lately?
Right.
You know, what have you seen? What should I go see?
Yeah.
But that's nice. It's not, I mean, I'm not a rock star. People are not trying to, you know, tear my clothing. People are not interested in you know, my private life. I mean, they're just asking about movies. And see, the thing is, everybody talks about movies because everybody goes to the movies.
Right.
If I wrote a gardening column, only gardeners would be interested.
Right.
If I wrote a chess column, you know, everybody goes to the movies. Everybody's got an opinion about movies. Everybody wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's why I get stopped a lot.
Would you like to talk about gardening? Because we can do that. Is that no? Okay.
No.
Well, the big thing this this summer has been how crappy the movies have been. What is your explanation?
Well, but no, the big thing is the media stories, both in the trades, the industry trades, and in the consumer press, about the box office slump.
Right.
What are the reasons for the box office slump? Is it that people are staying home and watching their DVDs in their home theaters? Is it that they're surfing the net, or now they're playing video games instead of watching movies?
Right.
It's that the movies suck.
Exactly.
You know, it's like it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. They weren't doing the story about the box office slump the weekend that Star Wars opened because everybody went to it.
It was
they weren't
Stealth
doing exactly.
and The Island.
Exactly. You know, when there are movies people want to see, they go out.
Right.
When they produce stuff like that, nobody cares. And it's pretty simple.
And do you think that the film festival here is going to turn things around? I mean, it's a different season, right? Meteor stuff comes out.
You know, this is such a huge festival. There's so many films here, and it really runs the gamut from the tiniest film made with the DV cam to the Hollywood, you know, blockbuster stuff. And what I like about it so much is that they do give an option for you to see the small, independent, offbeat films, foreign-made, homemade. And those are the films that need exposure, that need word of mouth, that need that buzz to be generated. And Toronto embraces those films. Long before Hollywood discovered this festival, the people who live here discovered it. I mean, it's always had a very strong audience support, and that's what makes it a great festival.
I think it's there's something about us being Canadian. Don't mind standing in line for 5 or 6 hours. Right? It's
that's why I don't come more often.
That's why you don't come. Can't you just kind of elbow your Leonard Matlin coming through? Leonard Matlin moves on.
Not here.
No, not here.
Oh, you know, this is a very egalitarian festival. You know that they're very anti-privilege. But I'm privileged to get a press pass, so I go to the press screenings.
Right.
And that works out fine.
That's great. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to stop by, and I'm sorry that there's a movie on pause somewhere. Maybe you can go quickly sneak in. You won't miss a thing. So catch Leonard on Entertainment Tonight and pick up the latest edition of his movie guide on shelves right now. I read it all. It's fantastic. We'll be right back.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
If you want tickets to Pop Cultured with Elvira Kurt, call 416-849-0063 or check out our website.
Get ready! It's the Male Entertainment Reporter Showdown! Kicking things off, Entertainment Tonight's Mark Steinis versus E-Talk's Ben Mulrooney. Mark Steinis has an Emmy, but Ben got teased when his dad invented the GST. Oh, with the sympathy advantage, Ben Mulrooney on to the next round. Male Entertainment Reporter Battle number 2. The Insiders, Pat O'Brien versus E.T. Canada's Rick Campanelli. Rick Campanelli, young guy on a brand new show. Pat O'Brien, old vet, addicted to cocaine and smutty voicemails. Sorry, Rick, but before you hear something you just shouldn't hear, Pat O'Brien moves on to the finals. And the final showdown is Pasty Pat O'Brien versus Bronze God Ben Mulrooney. Sure, Pat has the mustache, the messages, and the monkey on his back, but Ben Mulrooney does this.
Exfoliate, exfoliate, exfoliate.
So it's no contest. Pat O'Brien, you and your stash and the monkey are the Male Entertainment Reporter champions. Who wants to be a real entertainment reporter when you can be a fake entertainment reporter, like our own David Real?
So by now, we're all pretty used to seeing people with white earplugs dangling from their ears. It means they have an iPod. Or they just spend way too much time with their old headphones and a bottle of whiteout. Which, by the way, you can tell just by checking their pupils. People need to let other people know that they have a gadget. That graphic is incidentally made with a gadget. Gone are the days when it was enough that a gadget kept your heart from stopping. These days, it's really only cool if we can see it. And even then, you still need to know which gadget you want to display. And that's the hard part. I mean, is your new gadget the next PlayStation Portable or the next Big Mouth Billy Bass? Because when everyone else is Bluetoothing their BlackBerry, you don't want to be the only one carrying a mini disc player in your Nintendo Power Glove. And now, you even have to know which version of the gadget you want to get. Like, say it is the iPod you want. Do you get the 60 gig, the iPod Shuffle, iPod Mini, iPod Nano, the U2 iPod? Well, what if no one likes U2 in a year? Well, then you're out of luck. Just like what happened to me with my old Honeymoon Suite Walkman. And then there's the new iPod phone. It holds up to 100 songs, 97 more than Ashley Simpson, which is sweet, yeah. And how far away are we from that one item that combines everything? The mini U2 iPod Shuffle phone? It calls world leaders at random, asking them to forgive third world debt. And it's mini. But to be fair, maybe you're not worried about this at all, because you're really high on whiteout. Well, you know what? We envy you, but we still have more songs. Elvira?
Thanks, David. Tonight we warn you that TV requires warnings. The gadgets give you headaches, and the deviled eggs are scarier than you think. I'm Elvira Kurt, and we've been pop cultured. Yeah, we have. That's all.
TV's hard.